Scott Narver, the Summer Olympics came and went.
Oh, Jake, we should have done an episode about the Olympics.
I know, we didn't do any sort of Olympic-themed episode, but I have an idea. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, what do you got?
Something about cycling.
Ooh, okay, how does cycling and wrestling go to hand in hand?
Well, it's the WWE Encyclopedia.
If that's the kind of effort we're going to put in the cold open, then yes, it feels like a WWE Encyclopedia episode today.
WWE Encyclopedia Part 16 today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lidbacon.
Scott Narver, it has been multiple months since we have sat down and cracked open ye old WWE Encyclopedia.
It has. You have it with you in Texas, right?
No, I thought you had it.
I'm not in Texas.
Ah, shit. All right. I must have dropped it somewhere along the line of here in New York. If I walk back in that direction, retrace my steps, I'm sure I'll find it on the side of the road somewhere.
I'll just order another one from Amazon right now. Hey, it showed up.
Hey, look at that.
I had it the whole time. I would never buy a second one. Even this one was a gift.
You didn't buy the first one. Yeah, exactly. Never bought one in the first place. And the original one that I had, that thing was a gift to me from like 15 years ago.
So the lesson for today, everyone, is don't pay for knowledge.
No. Be gifted knowledge. For knowledge is the greatest gift.
It's pretty good. Oh,
I'm
Jake's getting comfy now. He's in full McAfee mode.
Yeah, I'm going to do this episode real cozy. I think I'm going to like lean back in my chair because we're not on video. I'm sorry, everybody. I forgot to do that.
Good Lord, we're not.
I forgot to
Jake's doing you a favor today.
I forgot to do all that shtick. We're not live for the super exclusive patrons.
You can see all of Jake's black licorice tattoos all over him.
But it doesn't mean that we do not have to acknowledge her. Andrea Beeler, a.k.a. Pollen Hate, current PWP champ for the month of August. If you would like to challenge Pollen Hate for that title, well, then you got to become a championship level Palski. That's what we call them. By the next episode, maybe? Question mark. I don't know what day today is. Yeah, next episode.
Can't be a champion level Slamcast. That's impossible.
But yeah, I'm gonna get real cozy. I got my sleeveless shirt because I'm a Texan now. I
think you're a Tex ass is what you are.
I bought myself a Stetson because that's what everybody wears down here, right? You know what a Stetson is, right?
They wear assless chaps, Jake.
No,
have you ever seen Shawn Michaels?
Not on his head. What does he wear on his head? He wears a Stetson.
Sometimes he does. Back in the good old days.
Look, I bought myself a Stetson to fit in. See?
It's not a cowboy hat.
No, but it's a hat. It says Stetson on it, and it's got little trees and a sun and like a rainbow design, and it's all earthy and rustic. I like it.
There's a couple of things that Texans hate that you mentioned.
Listen. They have to accept me for who I am here. Don't mess with Texas.
Not a thing.
We were, by the way, we went to a mall like last week or whatever it was, when we took our trip into fucking Abilene, an hour and change away.
No, you say when you go into town.
Yeah, when we go into town. We've only been I think twice at this point, but we had the dogs with us because we were just like, oh, let's get out of the house, let's take the dogs. We'll go to some places that we can walk around that's air conditioned. We went to a local mall. And outside of the mall, there was some sort of, like a sports bar patio, right?
Yeah.
So we're just beyond the gate of the patio, and Campfire just drops trout and starts taking a dump. And Alexandra,
your dog wear pants?
Yeah. Because then he wipes his own ass. We've been through this already multiple times. He's a very talented dog. So he takes a dump, and Alexandra, you know, a good Samaritan that she is, like gets her bag out. She's standing there waiting for him to finish up. And some guy like drinking a beer at 11 a.m. on the fucking patio, just on the other side, all by himself, right? Nobody else out there goes like, "You're really going to pick that thing up?" And Alexandra looks over at him and goes like, "Yeah, you want to enjoy that beer with the smell of shit wafting in the breeze?" And I've never been more proud. And she picked up his poop like a good Samaritan, but she got yelled at for the fact that she cared. And my whole thought was, isn't that the whole thing about Texas? You don't mess with Texas. You're not supposed to litter and leave poop around.
See, my thought was, he was like, "You're really going to pick that up?" Thinking that you would be the gentleman, Jake, and you would pick that up.
Yeah, that wasn't his inflection. It's so Texas. He was like, he knows it's a woman's job. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the man loves fertilizer. He loves a good crop.
He really is. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm gonna grow a flower on that spot right there.
No,
but anyways,
that's been our show.
That was Pro Wrestling Palskis. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure you become a patron over
it. The most pre-show story I've ever heard
Patreon.
On the main show.
That was it. I was just sharing a little piece of the thing that happened. Not everything is a fucking 5-star banger, all right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the most pre-show story on the main show I've ever heard.
And then he got up and shot at us. There we go. Is that a better ending? We had to escape. Campfire jumped on him.
He would shit on the floor and then see if she would pick that up. You really gonna pick that up? What about this? Honey, come here. She's picking up everything. And then the entire bar just starts shitting.
Oh, my exes live in Texas. All right. Anyways, you know what this is. It's Encyclopedia. We've done 16 of these things, not including the original Encyclopedia, over on the aforementioned Patreon. He has the book in his hand now from, I believe, 2020 edition. It's now 4 years old. It's already out of date. We're going to need to replace this as soon as possible to make sure we get the Wyatt 6 in there. Here. Yeah, exactly. He's going to open up to a page at random, and let's just fucking chat. Have a little chat.
Oh, man, I hate to delay Encyclopedia anymore, but I have a legit question about the Wyatt 6. When should I ask it?
Right
should
now.
We start this?
No, yes, let's do it. Let's just get into the Wyatt 6. That's what we're going to do in a minute. This is how like reality TV show works. We tell them what's going to happen, then we make them wait for it.
Okay. This is a legit question. I thought about this the other day when you watching all these segments and vignettes for the Wyatt 6, and we know we watch this stuff way too much. Right? We're aware that's Uncle Howdy. We're aware that's Bo Dallas's brother of Bray, and there's 5 of them, and that the 6th person is Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Okay.
I just wanted to get ahead of you here because I have a feeling I know what you're going to ask.
Okay.
The answer to the question is yes. The upside down moth logo, it does look like there's a dick somewhere in the middle of that. I could see the dick in that as well. So I know that you see dicks everywhere. I assume
I do.
This is dick related in some way, shape, or form. I do see that. We're all going to move on as adults, though.
Ramblin' Rabbit is a giant dick.
Okay,
and all he's rambling about are dicks.
But yes, the Wyatt 6, even though it has nothing to do with the number. So whether or not he is actually the 6th member, or there just are 5 of them, because it is indeed called the SICK. They are all sick. There are not 6 of them.
But when you hear it, you go, "Oh, there's 6."
Yes, of course.
Okay, got it. You're very Texas right now. You're playing with a knife. And we see clips of Bray being shown often in these vignettes, where they talk about stuff, or Bo talks about stuff and mentioning Bray, or they just show Bray. I feel like there are fans. There must be fans, right, that are seeing this and don't know, or they dropped in, they dropped out, that don't know that Bray is dead. Or when they watch this, they go, "Oh, that was part of the show."
Right.
There must be fans that don't really know that Bray is dead, right?
Yeah, you might be right that there are some casual fans who see all of that and go, "When's that guy going to show up in the ring?"
Right?
Or they think that that's the guy in the Uncle Howdy costume. I don't know.
I believe that too. That they could go like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Oh, that's not him. Or they'll watch for a while and go, where the hell is that guy? And then find out he's dead and go, oh man.
But I mean,
wanted to see that one guy come back.
Is there not enough context though in some of these and in the commentary about like, carrying the torch of his late brother? Like, is there not like enough context?
Do you believe it? Does everyone believe it? Does everyone go, no,
I mean,
he's not really dead. They're sending it on a VHS tape.
And they told us Kane was burned in the fire. They don't know. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. There very well might be some viewers.
I don't know if we'll ever hear someone's real take on it someday where they're like, yeah, I watched for a while and I watched the Wyatt Six for like a year. And then at the end of that year went, oh, that dude's dead and he's not coming. He's never going to show up.
You know what? We're more likely to hear that like from adults and like teenagers and 20-year-olds 10 years from now, or, you know what I mean? Like people who are kids now who are watching it. And then like, in 15 years ago, oh my God, I was so young. I didn't know Bray Wyatt had died. I had no idea because they were fucking 6 or 5 or whatever, They were 6. They were Wyatt 6
because of that man.
Right.
Just something I've been thinking about.
That is an interesting
I feel
point,
like as much as you kind of try and make it clear, but you can't harp on it too much, constantly going like, one of them's dead. That's his brother.
And it's not like, because
not like
they've
Eddie
definitely
Guerrero.
used, or I was going to say Paul Bearer, where it's like they used like Punk and Taker used Paul Bearer's death, but like the idea is like the whole point was he had died and now I'm besmirching his name and taking his ashes and like it's very blatant what they're doing.
This is all about someone living on, right? And there's other characters, but you feel like, oh, but that other guy's going to show back up.
Right.
Bray's going to come back because why else is all this happening? I feel like there's never been something like this where there's so heavily a tribute to someone that it still involves them. And they're saying like, it was all Bray's. And
it's not like a one-off. It's not like tonight it's whatever night to honor this person. It's like, no, literally like this is the gimmick this is like who these characters are going to be from now on, or at least until it all fails.
Every live event, there must be someone going, when's Bray Wyatt going to show up? And all the rest of fans going like, oh my God.
People around him going like, do you not know? Or like, too soon, bro. And like, too soon about what? For him to show up?
He's dead. Like, I know they're saying he's dead, but he's not really dead. Right. He is dead. Yeah. And all this is real. Okay. Yeah, I got it. You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
And then they start fighting. Okay. God damn it. This is why you can't go. This is why you shouldn't go be in the crowd at any Philadelphia show.
Nope.
All right. He's raising up the WWE.
Go to Philadelphia. You want shoes?
He's raising up the WWE Encyclopedia, and he is. Am I supposed to say stop? Stop. Oh, you went all the way to the beginning. I think that's like the contents. Today we're going to read the contents section. Okay, do it again. Stop. Well, that's okay. Stop right there. Yeah, we're somewhere in that range. It's fine. You lost the page. That's fine. Yeah, let's do that one. I
was flipping around. Okay. Oh boy.
What are we talking about?
Today, we're talking about Humberto Carrillo.
Oh, shit.
Hunico.
Oh, we're in the H section.
Way to go, detective.
For Hispanic wrestlers.
The Hurricane.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. He might be Hispanic.
I'm going to skip over someone because
Latinx.
Of the irony.
Oh, uh-oh.
The IIconics.
Oh, wait a minute. Is H Husky Harris? Is that who you're skipping over?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really good at going along with the bit, not ruining it.
Yeah. International Wrestling Montreal.
Okay.
Irish Jackie.
What?
Irish Pat Barrett.
Oh, the Irish. So it's Hispanic and Irish is what we're covering today.
Iron Mike Sharp. And there are two, I forget how we treat these when they have a bigger profile, but they can't fit on a page.
We tend to just do what's on the page because then if we flip to that page at a different point in time, we'll be on that page. Yeah. We
Makes
do
sense.
the entries. That's usually what we do. Just the entries.
So those are Iron Sheik and Erwin R. Shyster.
Oh, lovely. Well, to
and the Invaders.
Relative. Oh.
And Io Shirai.
All right, we got we're covering a lot of ground here in this page. A lot of different eras.
Yeah.
I mean, since we're talking, I mean, it seems a natural segue. We're talking about Husky Harris, we're talking about Bray Wyatt, we're talking about the Wyatt Six.
Io Shirai.
Is the Husky Harris section like see Bray Wyatt, or is it literally a profile on Husky Harris?
It says
as like he's
other names included Pudgy Paris.
I don't believe you. I think
Chunky Monkey.
This is a comedy you're doing. I don't think this
Tits
is
McGee.
Real. Oh, now I'm starting to think it is real.
All approved by Vince. No, it's his own little profile page.
Wow.
So here I'll read. Here's what it says in its entirety for the Encyclopedia of WWE. So
right.
This is truth. As Jake knows,
all things.
Everyone who says they were born from where they were born is for reals.
Yeah,
6'3".
There ain't no Italian people playing Native Americans in this book.
No, sirree. That's the old edition. From Brooksville, Florida, signature move, swinging reverse STO. First appearing on WWE television as part of NXT Season 2, Husky Harris was as big as a tank and as fast as a Ferrari.
I enjoyed that gimmick.
I feel like they could have put next to Rusev's tank and seen that that's not true.
Oh, but that's not what they said. Like in their own encyclopedia, they wrote his gimmick wrong because they used to say
he was big as a Ferrari and fast as a tank.
Yes,
that's not good.
No, they say he was a tank with a Ferrari engine. That's what they used to kept saying. He's like a tank with a Ferrari engine, which didn't make sense because I don't think a Ferrari engine would spin a tank's wheels. I don't think they're the same sort of mechanism.
Those are treads.
But that used to be what the gimmick was. He said, like, "Oh, he's a tank with a Ferrari and a tank with." So they're literally writing it wrong in the book.
The problem with the WWE Encyclopedia is you can't reference another encyclopedia to see what was going on. There's just no previous. You got to go like, oh, it's us. So what are you going to look up? You can't look up anything. There's no internet.
Should have asked Corey Graves. He would have told you.
With an unorthodox style to complete the package, it was clear Husky was a budding star. Following his time on NXT, Harris helped Wade Barrett defeat John Cena at Hell in a Cell 2010. This paved the way for Harris to be inducted into Nexus, where he remained until the end of the year. Then in January 2011, he was punted by Randy Orton. The impact of the blow was so great that Harris never returned to WWE.
I mean, Randy Orton's just been tortured. I mean, he set him on fire eventually. He's been kicking him in the head. Like, this is a real legit feud. This is kind of a fascinating thing because I'm curious to whether or not in that encyclopedia are the three faces of Foley all listed individually as if they're three people.
It's a good question. You know what? Probably.
I liked Husky Harris. I was aware that he couldn't talk, which, by the way, talk about like really finding yourself in a different character. But I liked watching him wrestle. I enjoyed the whole shtick about the Ferrari tank bullshit because he was fun to watch. He felt at that time, he felt like a throwback. He felt like, he was trying to be like an old, Southern wrestler. He was wearing the boots, I think were his uncle's boots, right? He was like,
yeah.
I think like,
but the laces of a Ferrari.
Tank boots. Really heavy. But I don't know, I dug Husky Harris. And then I remember that was when I've always known that wrestling fans were the fucking worst, but he debuts as Wyatt in NXT eventually. Gets so fucking over that it's the best thing, one of the best things in the program. People love it.
I mean, Percy
and then
Watson was on that show. It wasn't hard.
Oh, Showtime. I loved Percy. He was great.
You should let him know.
But then he gets brought up to the main roster, and on his debut of his main roster, where he's a great character doing something interesting and unique, all the audience is chanting at Husky Harris. And I remember thinking like, God, I fucking hate wrestling fans.
That was the same with Lord Tensei. It was this like, we remember, we know. Right. You can't fool us. Like, yeah, we know
what
know.
What are you doing? Shut up.
It's okay.
And it's not like
we moved on. We say you deserve it now to everyone that gets everything.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
I can't wait till James Ellsworth makes his return. You deserve it. Thank you, James. Thank you, James.
I am all for other adjectives for a wrestler name other than big.
Husky's nice.
Husky was fine. Like I didn't look at that as a shot down. It seemed like a clever name. It was something different and unique, and it's wrestling, so it's like it doesn't. Right. He's not a normal person. He's not a normal character. It's Husky Harris. He's from Florida. He's kind of a weird dude.
And it's also of all of the different wrestlers who've had an animal logo, we've never seen a husky, which was like his shirt, like an actual husky. Like a dog. And I was like, oh, that's like a fun play on maybe it's his first name. So you looked at it as
more of the dog. I looked at it as more of like, he's a little husky.
I think it was intent on being both, that he's a husky guy, but also his name is Husky. You know what I mean? Like I that's how I interpreted that.
Yeah. A shorty G. Hey, that guy's not very tall.
Right. But I will say,
I was on board for Husky Harris.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly glad everything happened the way that it did.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it was, okay. They didn't go with the family name. Like, all right, they're going to rebrand him and stuff. In the same way that it's a Braun Breaker. Like, if Braun Breaker goes on the same trajectory where stuff happens and then Randy Orton decides to punt him and then set him on fire. And then he becomes Braun Steiner. Okay.
Right.
I'm for it.
But it's WWE. They can't have multiple names, so he'll be Bronson-y Steiner. Bronson-y with 2 E's at the end.
So, you want to learn about the Invaders?
You're holding the book. Yeah, you lead us through this encyclopedia page.
So I'll attempt to show you the Invaders here.
Who are the Invaders? Are the Invaders the
2 masked gentlemen?
Oh, you need to raise the book up. I can't see that's below. Raise it higher. Oh, okay, yeah. They look like luchadors with capes.
See.
Old barrel chest. That's like, they look like they're from that era where all wrestlers had these big barrel chests and these tiny waists.
But pretty good shape overall. Like not just all they eat is potatoes and steak.
Right.
The abdomen area is a bit more defined.
Right.
In 1983, an exotic.
I was born. Oh, never mind.
Mass team arrived in WWE, enlivening fans with a fast-paced Latin accented style, while clashing with tandems like the Wild Samoans.
Wait. Can I just stop for a second?
Yes.
What I love about Latin accented style is it immediately makes me think they put 2 white dudes in a masks and we're like, go be luchadors. And that way it's a Latin
all wrestling companies of all time.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Like the Wild Samoans, Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff, and Mr. Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee. Like the Lucha Dragons 3 decades later, the Invaders assailed their adversaries from the air. But the duo exuded a toughness born in their native Puerto Rico. Invader number 1 had been a mainstay on the island since 1973, colliding with such rivals as Ivan Koloff, Dick Murdoch, and Abdullah the Butcher. His most successful tag team was with a man who accompanied him to WWE, Invader number 2. However, in Puerto Rico, there was also an Invader number 3.
The third man. The original
and
third
Invader
man.
number 4.
Oh shit! Now it's. Do we have room? Do we have space for all these invaders?
Well, we have space for the final part of this act. Invader number 1 retired in 2006. The end.
Wow, that's a pretty good run there to be an
Invader
invader.
number 2, 3, and 4 are Linda McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Shane McMahon.
Are you sure one of them was Sami Zayn? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I found something because I was curious. I wanted to look up like better images for myself, and
Or who the fuck they were?
Jose and Gonzales and Johnny Rivera were Invader 1 and 2. Johnny Rivera was an enhancement talent in WWE prior.
A jobber.
And let's see. Often Gorilla Monsoon would slip up while calling the action and would actually call Invader number 2 Johnny or Rivera accidentally.
That's amazing.
Also, yeah. I've also caught him calling the big. Let's see. I love the Invaders. Yeah, this was all just like.
He also would call Andre the Giant Andre my friend.
I just in Googling this May 2022, it said at 76 years of age, Invader number 1 is the new IWA World Champion. But this says that he's Manuel Huertas Gonzales, better known as Invader number 1. So I think there's some contention of whose numbers are whose, maybe.
Oh.
I think there's we should do an entire investigative journalistic breakdown episode of the Invaders of wrestling and get to the bottom.
Investigating the Invaders.
Invadigating.
We're going to sound real MAGA-y with that title.
We really are. We need to find out who's under these masks. I'll tell you what, it sounds to me like Invader number 3 took Invader number 1's gerb.
They got these paperless aliens.
When I look up the Invaders wrestlers, it says Jose Gonzales is just the Invader. But whether or not he's not at all connected to the WWF Invaders of the 80s. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, oh man, you have really... okay, Jose Gonzales, by the way, the guy who, according to the Wikipedia, says is better known as Invader number 1, was charged with the murder of wrestler Frank Goodish, Bruiser Brody.
That was the Invader?
That's Jose Gonzales. Yeah, Invader number 1.
Oh no, Trump's being proven right. They're crossing our borders and killing people.
And no, in this case, I think they crossed borders away from us. Wasn't he killed in Japan?
Oh, I don't know. I am not well versed on Bruiser Brody.
I think it happened overseas. I could be wrong.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for that.
Oh no, it was in Puerto Rico. It was in Puerto Rico. It was in Puerto Rico.
We didn't have them as a territory then, I assume.
No,
right?
they were
so
Americans. Oh man, well now I'm really curious about whether or not these Invaders is this Invader. Whether Invader number 1, the that book of viewer, is Jose Gonzales, the murderer of Bruiser Brody.
Who are these Invaders? I feel like their time could shine. It's time to bring it back, the Invaders.
And then it says on this, Roberto Soto was Invader number 2. And then it says Johnny Rivera was Invader number 3. Who was on the previous thing I found? Oh, I think we found
who's Invader number 4? Is it Linda McMahon?
Let's see if it says on this. It doesn't. There's no mention of an Invader number 4 on.
Oh my God.
The Wikipedia page for Jose Gonzales, aka
They're on the
Invader
loose.
number 1. He retired in 2006 to enter politics. So. Let's see. We all know. Wait. He was a speaker at the RNC a couple weeks ago, wasn't he?
Oh, that's right.
Jesus Christ.
And Vader Balea.
Wasn't one of the other
someone from Puerto Rico, right?
Wasn't
no one's orange there, sir.
Wasn't one of the entries in that page the International Wrestling Association?
International Wrestling Montreal.
Oh, okay, never mind. Because this also states that he returned to Puerto Rico to work for the International Wrestling Association. I thought this whole thing was going to be all tied to him. We were going to be like Charlie Day and the gift everybody shares from Always Sunny with all the strings connected to fucking Jose Gonzales.
Oh, I neglected that Intercontinental Championship is also one of these, but it's one of the tiny, like, go to this page.
Well, we did a whole episode. We got that page already. We did a whole episode on that.
Yeah. Well, Let's see here.
Well, shit.
I'd like to move on to Iron Mike Sharp.
Let's move on to Iron Mike, the one and only Iron Mike Sharp.
Were you familiar with him at all?
No, the name doesn't even ring a bell. Let me look him up. Maybe I'll
look him up.
Face.
So I'm gonna read his bio while you look him up. Iron Mike Sharp.
Sharp with an E?
Yes, with an E. Also an A. And an I, an E in the Mike, and an I and an O in the iron. 6'4", 283 pounds, from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Signature move, forearm smash. A second-generation superstar, Iron Mike Sharp was a seemingly rough and tough customer who often cockily proclaimed himself Canada's greatest athlete.
Love that.
His WWE win-loss record, however, failed to back his lofty claims. Regularly falling to the likes of Tugboat, Hercules, and Tito Santana, Sharp rarely walked away from a match victorious, despite sporting a mysterious black arm pad that many assume concealed a foreign object.
One that he didn't use very well by the sounds of it.
Despite his lack of WWE victories, Sharp did achieve a level of success in the NWA where he claimed more than 10 championships, including the Calgary version of the International Tag Team titles with partner Jim Wright. So I have a lot of affection for Iron Mike Sharp because he was a jobber back in the Superstars days and all that. Like, so I saw him on TV regularly. When he got his intro, like, I thought his name was cool. Iron Mike Sharp. I'm like, that's 3 names. That's really cool.
Sharp. You got Sharp and Iron in there, like Iron, Sharp, and Iron. Like, there's a nice play. There's a nice visual to that.
He's like a big neighborhood dad. Like the size of him.
He does look like that. He looks like the toughest guy in the bar. It's got that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they'd introduce him, he tended to like raise one arm, I think it was his right arm, and he'd go like, "Rah!" And he had this sort of almost cartoonish yell, but as a kid, it was a little bit more threatening than that. It's like a "Rah!" He'd have those noises throughout the match too. If he's getting any offense in or some big move happened to him, he'd let out those like growls.
Right.
And
someone who was vocal.
He stood out in that way to me, that he was like, oh, I don't know. I've seen this guy a couple times now. He's pretty big. And I would think maybe he's going to win. Like, I'd look at Barry Horowitz and go, that guy's not going to win. But I'd look at Iron Mike Sharp and go, that guy might win.
I mean, I like that you remembered a jobber.
I remembered a few jobbers, yeah, and I appreciated that. I don't look at that term as disparaging at all. I think it's part of the level of where you're at in your employment, you know?
Right. According to the Wikipedia, there's a fantastic little stat of his last televised match.
Oh, okay.
And when I say a fantastic stat, since you liked him so much, it might be a little depressing. He was in a tag team match in a losing effort. Brody. he was acquitted for the murder of Bruce. His last televised match in 1995 was a losing effort in a tag match against the Smoking Guns. Take one guess.
That's when you know you got to hang it up.
Well, take a guess at who his tag team partner was. I'll give you 3
guesses.
1995? I'll give you 3 guesses, and I know you're not going to get it.
In 1995, right?
Yes.
1995, another jobber seemingly of the time and losing to the Smoking Guns. Okay. First one, I'm going off of our watch along knowledge.
Oh, maybe he doesn't.
And I'm going to go with Chris Kanyon.
No.
Okay. Because I feel like he was a jobber in like 96.
Good guess, but strike one. Canyon, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to give you clues. I'll give you clues at the second one.
Okay. 1995 jobber. Maybe someone that becomes somebody. That's why I'd be having a decent chance of guessing it. So, okay. Do I get it right if I get any version of their name at any point?
Yes.
Okay. Leaf Cassidy.
No, it is not a Leaf Cassidy. I'll give you hints. Canyon and Too Big, and yes, did become somebody. Technically speaking, he did become somebody.
Can I ask for one follow-up hint?
If it's wait, do you want me to come up with it? Or
your discretion of like, you can deny my. Do you think there's a chance they made it in this encyclopedia?
Yes, they are 100% in that encyclopedia. It was fun. And the fact that this is this tag partner, I actually kind of want to watch this match. I want to see these two tag together. I want to see
Does it say what it's from?
Iron Mike. I don't know, but it said it was televised and it gives us the date, so I'm sure we can find it.
Okay.
It was probably a Raw, right? 1995.
1995. Okay. I'm going to go with Scotty 2 Hotty.
Closer, but no cigar. In his final match, losing against the Smoking Guns, Iron Mike Sharp tagged with the one and only Dwayne Gill, a.k.a. Gilbert. Gilberg, rather. Gilbert. That's the wrestling version of Dilbert, the cartoon character. Yeah, he wrestled with fucking Dwayne Gill as a tag team.
Oh, man.
Against the Smoking Guns. It's my childhood favorite, Smoking Guns. Come on. I want to see that.
That's
Let's
great.
See. I'm going to look it up. June. Let's see if there was when did Raw start? Raw started by 95, right? I don't remember when anything
But it certainly could have been Superstars or one of those other shows.
You're right.
But
let's see.
Any more cataloging? It's getting pretty good online of just obscure stuff that if it was taped, people are putting up somewhere, whether it's a Daily Motion or what.
Yeah. If I look up WWF and then that date, well, first I could just look up what day that was.
If you look up all the participants,
it looks like it was Superstars.
In the match.
No, wait, never mind. That was 6. No, never mind. Wrong date. Hang on.
Oh, there's also all the things I use, like Wrestling Database and all that shit. Where I'm going to look that up on my end.
First, I'm just going to figure out what day of the week it was. What day of the week was June 6th, day of the week? Tuesday.
Okay,
it was
so
a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday night.
Net.
All right, so it was Tuesday, June 6th, 95.
We're on a race here.
WWF.
Okay, yes. From WWF Superstars show 454 that was shot in Danbury, Connecticut, USA. It's from what this says, and it doesn't always match up. So I usually do 2 sites to check. This says it's from May 16th, 1995. And that's sometimes that's the film date. Sometimes that's the air date. This match is at a whopping 3 minutes, 32 seconds.
You found it. That's a good squash match right there. And you know what? 3 minutes. Wait, how long was it? 3 and change or 2 and change?
3 minutes, 32 seconds.
All right. So at least 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 8 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere around there. It's just the Smoking Guns entrance to the ring. Walking around, shooting the cap guns off.
Pew, pew, pew.
Well, fantastic. Something to add to the list.
That is fun. We'll have a Jobbers month.
I mean, most of our months are kind of Jobbers months to an extent. Dwayne Gill. I've loved Dwayne Gill. Hey, okay. There's another wrestling podcast. I think I met these people once. Like early on when Compadres first came to Dragon Wagon, I met whoever this person that runs this website is, and they were like, "Oh, we should do stuff together." And I was just like, "Yeah, I don't want to do wrestling podcasts." But
I'd sooner live in Texas than do a wrestling podcast.
It's one of their match of the weeks on their website from
this one.
This
match
from June 17th, 2024. So just 2 months ago. They made this match their match of the week.
How dare they?
Who would have thought?
We got Humberto Carrillo, Hunico, the Hurricane, the IIconics, Io Shirai, Irish Pat Barrett, Irish Jackie, and International Wrestling Montreal.
Who do you want to chat about?
That's what I was throwing to you because I'd done a couple of.
Let's chat about the IIconics. Because I think
when are they coming back?
I think, I feel like you and I had different experiences with them. Because I was an
with
NXT
Peyton,
nerd.
And you were with Billy.
How dare you? I will have you know, I was with Peyton. Thank you very much.
I don't know which one's which.
Oh, Peyton's the fucking smoke show of them. Even though, to be honest with you, doesn't even look like herself anymore.
Wait, which one was the funny one? Which one? Okay,
Billy was more funny. Peyton is with Sean Shears.
Sean Shears? Is it the son of Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
I was hoping you didn't notice that. I'm just going to give this one for the friends. Tamina.
Brutus and Tamina had a child. Sean Shears.
But he's a sheep shearer, which doesn't even make sense. He's not even cutting people's hair.
So he's with the Highlanders.
Yeah,
that guy's got every gimmick.
The second and third best wrestlers to wear
in the biz.
I wonder who was number 2. Who do you think was number 2 and number 3?
Oh,
he didn't
probably
specify.
Robbie was number 2 because of the personality.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know. We lost our train here, but the IIconics. This was when I was a diehard NXT person. The black and gold. I loved what they were doing. What are you talking about? You forever are. Like, you will forever love that. Like, I'm saying, don't take that away from yourself. No. Yes, but I'm talking about this is when it was good and I was enjoying it.
What are you talking about? They got.
I don't even know the names of the fucking champions.
People there now. Anybody, all of them. Wesley who? Mm-hmm.
Snipes came back for that too. Jesus Christ, that guy's fucking everywhere.
First base. And there will only ever be one Wesley.
I feel like when they debuted on WWE, you weren't sold on them. Whereas they had to earn you with comedy. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just because right away they were chummy and did stuff. It's like, yeah, but it just wasn't there immediately for me.
And
but they got it pretty quick.
I think the big issue for me was that during the whole women's revolution, they were brought up and then made into divas. Like, I don't recall them having good matches on WWE main roster, but they had legitimately good matches. Even though they were still funny and comedic, they were both pretty good wrestlers. And I feel like they both, like, I really enjoyed that
they trained with Sean Shears.
Which, you know what the best part of him is? He trims off all of the fat and he gets to only the good stuff.
That's right.
And I don't mean that in like a physical way. I meant as a wrestling. Don't make it weird, you guys. Stop making it weird, everybody. God damn it. Everybody, you fucking made it weird. You made it weird, you dicks. Anyways.
Now we've seen dicks.
Peyton is a fucking angel and she was gorgeous and I loved her and she was hilarious and perfect.
I already forgot which one's which.
Billy was also there, but I think Peyton made Billy better. Like, as far as the comedy. But they were just so fucking good. Like, they had a cohesive, they felt like a team at a time when they were just putting women together.
They also felt like friends, legitimate.
That's
friends,
that's
which
I mean.
in the scope of like a New Day or someone that was collaborative and that was supposed to be fun or funny, that it wasn't thrown together and you go, I don't know if they really like each other. Like, I could tell you, I truly don't get the vibe that Fandango and Tyler Breeze are friends. It feels like they work together well.
Yeah, they were like a very good comedy group.
But then they'd go, okay, see you later. They weren't attached to the hip. They weren't the best friends. That's the vibe I got where I go, yeah, they can do funny stuff together. But I felt like the IIconics were friends, and that's what translated through to me where I go, okay,
yeah,
I like them.
And at a time when you had just had introduced the WWE Tag Team Women's Tag Team Championships, like this was the women's tag team in the company. There was I can't think of another one that was a bona fide tag team that weren't just two
Natalia and everyone she was with.
Right. Natalia and other person. Natalia's and it's like a wedding invitation. It just says Natalia plus.
Natalia and plus one. Ronda Rousey. Natalia and I've been friends with them longer than anyone. Okay, if you say so. So I'll read their bio. Yeah, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay both grew up in Australia, dreaming of WWE superstardom. After training in Sydney, the pair were signed by NXT, where, taking the name The Iconics, the friends became inseparable. And to NXT General Manager William Regal and other NXT competitors, insufferable. There was no denying their charisma and ability both in NXT and SmackDown, which they joined in April 2018. 1 year later, the egotistical duo made the most of their WrestleMania debut, winning a fatal four-way tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championship, becoming only the second team to hold the title. They successfully defended the title for almost 4 months until the pairing of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross ended their reign shortly after the pair moved to Raw as part of the 2019 WWE Draft.
How long has it been, do you think, since they were let go? Was it the 2020? Was it the April
It might have been the ugly one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were in TNA for a hot minute, I feel like. And that was
for a literal minute, maybe?
That was that Rumble when TNA and WWE started their working relationship together. And I think they had reached out to the Iconics and they're like, it diplomatically went, no, we're good for now.
Right.
That we thought we were going to get them back via that. I think that's when we got Mickie James and
so she wrestles as Cassie Lee is what Peyton wrestles as. Cassie Lee, because there's not enough Lees in wrestling.
And there's also Billy Kay, and then you're calling yourself Cassie. Like,
right.
I was already confused.
Let me see what Billy Kay's name is now.
Killy Bay.
Billy Kay, Jessica
it's
McKay.
It's Mansoor, oddly enough.
Jessie McKay. So she's going by her real name, Jessica McKay. She's going by Jessie McKay.
Would it be Jessica Shears?
No, that's the other one. This one's not married.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know. I want them back. I want them back as a team. I want them.
They showed up at a tricky time, right? Like they helped in the international initiative, right? Like there was, hey, we got 2 Australian gals, but if they were around now,
right,
that they would have been featured in Elimination Chamber.
They didn't even
whatever
wrestle
that one
at
was.
The first Super Show. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with like Rhea and they had to put fucking Piper Niven in a huge match, and then the 2 other Isla Dawn and Red Dawn and their tag team thing. Like if that were the Iconics instead, it would have been this is no problem. We were fine. Hopefully they still are enjoying wrestling and there's talks or something, because I think they got a lot to contribute still.
Jessie McKay.
You calling her right now?
Yeah. Also is trying her hand at Hollywood. It seems.
Hey, you're a filmmaker.
She's on a TV series coming up as in one episode as a guest star called Blue Ridge, the series. She was in a short fan-made Batman show or whatever movie called The Dark Knight Chronicles, fan-made.
Who was she in that? Two-Face?
She was Two-Face. That's why she's not recognizable anymore. Oh, that's mean. Don't talk about women's appearances, Jake. That's so rude. Neither of these women,
their personalities.
Neither of these women look a lot like they used to.
Wait, who was she in the Batman Chronicles?
I don't recognize them.
Well, they look like who they look like now. If you have to guess other wrestlers, do they look like Val Venus?
I don't know. In April of 2022, filmmaker Michael Matteo Rossi, who I don't know, has he done anything famous? No, I don't know. Don't know who this is. But anyways,
I really want you to start hosting your show again of like this. Introducing people of I don't know them.
I don't know who the fuck this was. So that's literally Tig's bit for Tig did a talk show where she didn't know who any of her guests were. But anyways, said that McKay's going to star in an upcoming film, The Charisma Killers. Don't know whether that ever came out. Let's see. The Charisma Killers. They weren't naturally born killers. They were charisma killers. Now, did they kill charisma, you think? Charisma killers.
Or they could be Riz killers. Isn't that the way to say it now? Riz?
It's in post-production. It stars let's see, who else does it star? Who are her castmates? Vanessa Angel, Marnette Peterson. Oh, Vernon Wells is in it.
Marnette? Someone's name is Marnette?
Yeah, Vernon Wells is in
and
it.
They're not an NXT?
Paul Logan.
That's the most NXT name I've ever heard. Really?
Yeah, Paul Logan is in it, and I don't know if you heard me. Vernon Wells is in it, and that guy is the fucking greatest. I love that dude.
Wait, Paul Logan? You don't mean Logan Paul?
I mean Paul Logan.
Who's Paul Logan?
I don't know. I was just reading
Paul Hogan.
I was reading generic names.
You said it as though it's like, you know what that is.
Oh no, I was doing a bit because there's no famous people in it, but then I came across Vernon Wells and I got legitimately excited. Anyways, there you go. That's what the IIconics are up to. Which one would you
cast?
Out of the two of them in like a movie? Depends on the role, baby. I have a role in one of my upcoming projects that I actually do think Jesse McKay, aka Billy Kay, would actually be good for.
Okay.
But it's all about if it's a little bit more cartoonish, I would go with Billy because she's Jessie, whatever you want to call her. Jessie and Cassie are their names. Jesus Christ.
They're now the inspiration with two eyes.
Yeah. I think Cassie Lee is a little bit more like traditional leading lady type out of the two.
Okay.
Whereas Billy Kay, Jesse McKay, whatever the fuck, she's a little bit more like funny and zany and cartoonish. She's really big. I'd cast her as like a cartoon villain in something, which is what they were in wrestling, which is why it works.
See, if you made horror movies, you can get them both.
I don't know if Cassie Lee has ever tried acting though. It doesn't say that. It says aspiring actress on her.
Well, so on her
own Instagram, she wrote aspiring actress.
I might change my bio to that. Aspiring actress.
Well, listen, she's in Paragon Talent Group. She lists her talent agency on her, so we can write them and see if they're available.
Okay. Well, we missed him at World Golf Village in St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, is that where they were doing signings?
River City Wrestling from June 8th to June 9th. They did it for 2 whole days. They didn't leave.
Wow. Is that how long it takes to sign during a round of golf?
Well, one's got to sign one thing, and then they got to play through, and then the other one's got to sign a thing.
Right.
They allow someone to play through.
It does look like that maybe we didn't report this, or maybe we did. I don't know. Just last month, maybe Cassie Lee Payton had a baby with Sean Spears.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have 10 of them because he's obsessed.
10. Although maybe this kid's older. Never mind. Maybe this was a while ago, and she's just reposting.
They bought one.
Oh no, never mind. They have 2 kids. There's like a newborn, so probably not coming back immediately, or I don't know at all. But I don't know. I do feel like there is.
You got to work hurt.
There's always
if you can work with a broken leg or you can work with like a busted arm. Who's to say you can't work while you're pregnant?
Listen, this is CM Punk's WWE.
You're not taking front bumps. You're taking back bumps. It'd be stupid to land on the baby. Don't do a splash.
That's what happened.
Do a senton.
Is that what happened with Lita? It's too soon.
No, like Snitsky kicked her in the cooter.
Right.
And the baby flew out of her mouth.
like someone doing a Heimlich.
That's right.
I was going to say something sincerely that it does seem like WWE has been desperate for the IIconics ever since they've left, because they've tried to recreate the IIconics with any two women. And now we do have Tiffy, you have Chelsea Green, you have kind of versions of these characters. And I'm not taking anything away from those women. They work
as solo acts so far. They've not been a pairing but
they always pair them with another person to try to be funny.
Or it's like, oh, we'll put her with Piper Niven and she'll play the straight character. It's like, you can't just be the straight character and not bring anything to the table. The straight character takes a lot of work and effort. And I think you can see that when you go, there's nothing being given off this other person. Right. So you look at like a Kane and Daniel Bryan, right? Like that's a pair feeding into one another.
Right. Kane is handing Daniel Bryan comedy chunks to then play with. It's not just, hey, I'll stand next to you while you be funny.
Yes. I agree with what WWE is attempting to do in the search for IIconics again. And it's like, go throw them more money and just get them back.
Yeah, I agree.
Have we got time for any more? We need to wrap things up.
Well, let's do one more. We do have a hotline call too, but yeah, we'll do one more.
Right. Well, I'm torn. What do we talk about here?
Don't rip the pages.
Oh, sorry. I say we talk about one of your faves.
One of my favorite what? Sorry, you cut out there.
One of your faves.
Oh, one of my faves?
Yeah, one of your faves. Hunico. No, I mean Io Shirai.
Io Shirai.
5'1" from Tokyo, Japan. Signature move, moonsault.
5'1".
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say 5'1", but an example of a wrestler who can be 5'1", but I still believe when they take on bigger opponents.
Gotcha.
Like she's mean. She looks mean. She looks scrappy.
I was gonna say, she looks like she wouldn't talk to me if I approached her. She looks real mean.
Oh well, you don't speak
Japanese. The WWE Universe received incredible news in June 2018 when they learned that Io Shirai had signed with NXT, a 3-time winner of the Women's Wrestler of the Year award in her native Japan. Shirai had earned the nickname the Genius of the Sky thanks to her incredible array of aerial maneuvers. Shirai quickly demonstrated that the hype was well-deserved. In her first WWE competition, she advanced to the finals of the 2018 Mae Young Classic before falling to Toni Storm. Timeless. Continuing her winning ways at NXT, she formed a tag team with Kairi Sane called the Sky Pirates. I forgot about that. When Sane headed to SmackDown, Shirai unsuccessfully challenged Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. Well, that's the last entry in her ongoing thing. It's like, and she lost.
Weren't the Sky Pirates? Aren't they in Time Bandits? Okay, a couple things. One, Genius of the Sky.
They're in the world of tomorrow is where they're at.
Genius of the Sky is a bad nickname, and the only thing I can hope is that she got the nickname in Japanese, and then in Japanese it sounds nice, like it has like a phonetically pleasing. No, it wouldn't mean something different. That's not how you do you have any idea how language works? Doesn't.
Not good at gravity.
Yeah, this is like my whole Queen of the Ring problem that I have, where King of the Ring rhymes, where it's like Queen of the Ring, it doesn't sound good. It sounds bad. Genius of the Sky sounds bad.
Because she can't stay up there. She's not that much of a genius. If she was a genius of the sky, she'd jump and you go, how's she still up there?
Also, doesn't it kind of apply that she's an absolute dunce of the mat? Dunce of the earth. Yeah. Genius of the sky, though.
You know, if I were to call anyone genius of the sky, I'd say it's Sting. He's gone both ways. He's gone up and down.
Speaking of Sting, sidebar, the Scorpion crawled out of the bathroom sink Let's want to go ahead and good job, Texas.
No.
You're doing a great job, Texas. I gave that motherfucker the Scorpion Death Drop. Let's just say that. Just straight up crawled. I'll send you a picture.
Sinkhole?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
Okay.
Oh wait, I don't have any. Alexandra, can you send me a picture of the Scorpion? I don't know if she can hear me.
So what, you're brushing your teeth or something for the first time in a while, and then all of a sudden...
It's Texas, yeah. First time in a couple months.
It just comes out of the
and not like a fucking meaty, gross, like translucent, disgusting beast of the desert.
And coming out like, oh God, I finally got out of there. Whew, the stink on me.
Crawled up out of the septic tank, like smells like shit down there. And then we flushed him down the toilet.
Can you wash me off real quick?
Okay. Back to EO of the Sky. EO of the Sky.
EO, sure. And that's not her name now, right? It's what is it?
EO Sky. Yeah. I think
a solid rebranding.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It's a bummer because it's like, Shirai. I like that it's like, it's nice. EO Shirai. It has 3 syllables, or EO Shirai, 4 syllables.
I feel like sometimes when you go, okay, keep the name, that's your name, but I think when they really see her and they go like, we want to make you as much of a mainstream star as we can. So when they went like, we're just going to simplify it. Right. We're going with Sky. We're all the Sky stuff. Like, let's just call you EO Sky. Everyone can spell it. Everyone knows how to put it on a sign. It's
not a huge departure. It's like a slight. It reminds me of when the Senton bomb became the Swanton bomb. And at first I was like, what? That's not what it's called. Why are we calling it? And then I was like, all right, fine. It's a Swanton bomb. Yeah, that's what I call it now.
I've never seen a swan do it, but okay, fine.
Right. It's not that much different. But
it's still
right.
Feels the same. Shirai, Sky, like it's not.
Yes, exactly. It's
total departure in sound.
But I don't know. I feel like she's somebody who's like, she's already had a few characters, but they've felt like they were at least adjacent to one another.
Yeah, it wasn't Seth Rollinsy.
Right. She could just simply fall into anything. I still think she has the best music. Oh man, I forgot that I made the music thing. Oh wait, but you can't really hear it though. So remember I told you once that they repurposed points of music, like sections of music for EO Sky. I think it started with EO Sky, and then they took Damian Priest's music. And then when Bobby Lashley got a music rebrand, they just took a piece of EO Sky's music and a piece of Bobby Lashley's music and mashed them together.
I do remember you talking about this, but I did not fully understand. But you were,
I totally forgot.
Much like Charlie Day, like talking to the board and going like, see, this all connects.
I totally forgot that one day I got a wild hair up my ass and I mixed them all together. And then I never mentioned it. I literally never mentioned it on the show. The question is how do I play this now so that you can hear it? Do I just send it to you? I don't know.
Don't you do the thing where you just cut out the audio, or is that too much work?
Yeah.
In one recording, or it fucks it up?
I mean, is this the time?
I know what you should do. You should play it when we transition out of this.
Yeah.
Right, and we're gonna do the phone call. Have that music play into the phone call.
Okay. All right. That's what.
So then we'll get to hear both things, and
so it'll come up in a little bit.
Comment on both.
Yeah. I made a little a mashup of EO's, Bobby Lashley's, and Damian Priest's original music, and not his new, whatever the fuck his new thing is, but his original music, the infamous Archer nonsense or whatever.
Rise.
I completely forgot that I did that. Oh boy, this show needs a producer, let me tell you. Okay, so Io Shirai, what do you think of her right now? Where do you think of like where she stands?
That's the bummer is I tend to not watch the stuff going on. I watched the WrestleMania match with her and Bayley. I was invested in the match.
Right.
But so much of the group stuff where I just see like, and this goes for the guys too. Like if I just see a bunch of people doing something and they're all attacking each other and there's not a personality or someone amongst a group or two that stand out for me, it's a Austin, I'll catch you on down the line.
Right.
And she's involved in a lot of that where her and God, who is it?
Kairi Sane, Asuka.
Yeah, there's the Control Alt Delete, and then they're fighting with who?
Well, this is the thing. I did see. I must have been maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't fucking know. All right, the big thing at SummerSlam was Damage Control had turned on Bayley. Okay,
Sure.
and Bayley's the good guy, and then beat Io for the women's title, one of the women's titles.
Right, and then Nia beats Bayley.
Right. But okay, well, let's not even. Yeah, I'm not pulling that thread. I'm sticking on Io. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Io is now like the de facto leader of the evil group, Damage Control.
And they
Except
control
the last-
deleted Bayley.
The last thing that I saw is Io and Kyrie come out as baby faces against some heel women's team. I don't remember. And I'm thinking like, wait, did they just decide after that was over to just now also turn Damage Control babyface? Because if that's the case, Bayley, go rejoin them up. You guys are all good guys now. Say you're sorry.
Yes,
Everybody
sorry.
say you're sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me. I was so confused by the storytelling in this. At a time when they've been pretty good about not pivoting too drastically, too abruptly, and like sowing seeds and stuff, this seems to be like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe people in Discord will be like, Jake, you're a fucking idiot. All these things happened and you missed them. Watch the goddamn product before you do a podcast, you dumb fuck. And that is a fair assessment. I hear you. Also, I'm confused.
Well, I'm certainly always confused by the name Damage Control. Because as we talked about in the last episode, there's a group by the name of the Hurt Business. And that one seems pretty clear to me. They're in the business of hurting people. They seem to profit off it, and they're wearing fancy suits, and business is good. Damage Control sounds like a bunch of hall monitors. It's like,
It sounds like the lawyers.
yeah,
It's
they're
like
going
WWE
like, well, the
lawyers.
Hurt Business is around. We got to be Damage Control.
Okay.
Hold on, everybody. Stop the damage. We need to control this. Like, no. You're like
All right,
S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Marvel Universe. I don't want cops. Get them out of here.
Or it's like Damage Control in the Marvel Universe. Literally the organization called Damage Control.
Oh, no. Is that why they spell it stupid?
Probably. There's literally an entire comic called Damage Control. I think they made it, or they were going to make a TV show, or they were in a TV show. I think they were in the Spider-Man movies as well. Anyways, I digress. Damage Control, generally speaking, that's what it means. But this might be like one of those things like a Canadian destroyer. Is it somebody who destroys? Does they destroy Canadians, or are they Canadian destroy? Maybe they are in control of the damage.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, neither did I until just now in an attempt to just argue for the sake of having the other side of the story.
Yeah,
I pulled that out of my ass,
registered,
but
so
it makes sense.
I will try and think of it that way. I don't think it's gonna hit.
It's I don't think it's gonna stick around as a name. I don't think and also I don't know if Dakota's with them or if they're just separating the Sky Pirates again. Because
did you call them Sky Parrots?
No, I said pirates.
It was so fast I couldn't quite tell.
But Io came out with her fucking what is that called again? It's
looking
telescope.
glass?
Yeah, looking glass, whatever. But there's a specific name for like the monoscope or whatever. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fucking Sky Pirate of the world of tomorrow.
I like weird, dejected techno music, crazy Io Sky. That's my favorite version of her. But I think she's a good wrestler. I think that she needs to do one or two less putting a garbage can on her head and jumping off of a fucking War Games cell.
Yeah. There's always a little bit too much. I don't feel she's totally comfortable in her own skin yet. Like in the match more so, yes, but everything around it.
I feel she is really comfortable when she's doing that character. When she's doing the like dejected, weird, techno music bit. I like that. I think that works when she's sort of like too cool for everybody. And she's just like, whatever, I'm here to fucking kick your ass and leave. Like, I enjoy that. It's when she's giggling with Kyrie and making fun of Bayley in Japanese and her and them with Asuka are there. That's when I'm just like, I think Io, don't get me wrong, they're all great. I think they're better than like the sum of their parts, if that makes sense. Like these women are all better.
The good, lively energy. Like it's not something that has to be taught to them to like, hey, when you're on camera, bring it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not always sometimes it is, hey, everyone, act like Asuka right now.
Right.
Why?
Sure.
Let Asuka be Asuka. She is uniquely that.
Yes.
And maybe EO can tap into a couple other things. I do feel the same as you, where it's like, yeah, she clearly taps into the dark emo side of this. Kari, I don't fucking know with her. It's like the jovial, happy thing, but when she's trying to be evil, it's like, yeah, I don't buy it with her. But
yeah, but the thing I do like about EO in that is that I think she works both as a babyface and a heel without changing her character.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kind of like Rhea's in that same place, where it's just like, it depends on who she's facing and what she's saying exactly, or the way that she's conducting herself, whether she's attacking from behind and shit. But that character works. KO is another example. Works as a babyface or heel without changing his character very much. Like I think that's very beneficial to a talent, and she has that for sure. But yeah, I think it's time to, if you're gonna be done with Damage Control and you want to lean into her and Kairi as a tag team, a proper tag team, that's fine. Do that for a little while, but let them have a unique identity that's not like. Also, weren't they the Kabuki Warriors? Wasn't that? Oh no, that was Kairi or EO and Asuka. Yeah, that was EO and Asuka.
Wait, that wasn't Kairi?
Maybe it was. Maybe it was the name for the three of them.
I was gonna say, let me check my mobile game here, because I feel like I have a skin of Kairi Sane, in which she is a Kabuki warrior.
You're probably right. I think because Kairi got like let go at one point and then rehired, and I think that I get confused with the time.
I think she left for a while. I don't know if she was actually fired. She might have been one of the ones that went like, I'm leaving.
Oh no, I thought she was on the list. I thought she was on one of those chopping block lists.
She was on an iconic list?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say for sure, because I remember the speculation for a long time that they thought she was coming back.
In 2021, she was released from her contract. Oh yeah, I guess that means that maybe she did leave and was let out of it, and then came back in 2023. So she was gone for 2 years.
According to WWE Champions, the mobile game, for sure, Kairi Sane was a Kabuki warrior.
There you go.
Who else was? The game doesn't. I can't get that information. I know that she's affiliated with someone else, but I can't click on anything.
It was
but I assume it's Asuka.
It was the three of them. Yeah, it was the three Japanese ladies before Dakota and Bailey joined them and turned them into Control Alt Delete.
They're all Japanese?
I think so. Now I feel like
God,
I'm gonna get yelled at if one of them is like not Japanese. Okay.
According to Wikipedia, it's just Asuka and Kairi Sane
as the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, and with a former member who was their manager. I remember this now. Do you remember their manager?
Oh, wait a minute, Paige, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot.
The end of Vince. I don't know. Put her in there for the Kabuki Warriors. Sure. She's pale. Kabuki's all put on that white face paint, right? Dance around, do shows. Look at Paige.
He doesn't.
She's already done.
I like to think that for a while, he doesn't know the difference between Kabuki and just goth kids. He's like, I saw these Kabuki kids on the corner of the street dancing to The Cure.
We thinks Kabuki spelled Kabooki.
Right, yeah. Because they're like ghosts. Yeah.
Boo.
Boo. All right, kids. We should wrap up this edition of Ye Olds WWE Encyclopedia.
I get to hear the music soon.
Go take a hotline call. Yeah, we're gonna go do that. Take a hotline call. But first, Scott and I are gonna take a quick break where you get to hear and maybe people are gonna hear this and go, Jake, you're an idiot. They don't sound anything alike. I think these are the same repurposed melodies. They started as Io Sky's theme and Damian Priest's theme. And then they were stole from both of those to create the Bobby Lashley theme. I think the way that it goes is you're going to hear Bobby Lashley's first, and then that's going to go into Io Sky or Io Shirai's, whatever you want to say, and then back to Lashley, because then the song changes to like the thing, in which case then you'll hear Damian Priest's, the bridge of his thing, and hopefully you'll hear how, in my opinion, they're all kind of the same song. Did I over-explain it enough?
Yeah, and maybe in the wrong order, potentially. We'll see. And does anybody remember any of those themes? So we'll find out.
All right, so there you have it. Do you hear it? Do you hear the similarities?
It's Conspiracy Jukebox, everyone. Welcome to the episode 1 of Conspiracy Jukebox. I do hear Lashley to EO for sure.
Right.
The Kabuki Hurt Business feels like that would have worked out really well. Priest, I don't hear initially. Like it feels
really.
I'm trying to think how to say this. Like because you have two priest parts in there.
It's just the no. That's the part that's the same.
The first blend that happens, I feel like it's similar in I don't know, beat is wrong, rhythm is wrong. Like feel maybe.
It's just honestly it's just the notes.
The second blend that you do of bringing in priest theme, that one I hear. The initial one, it's like, this just feels like someone wrote a song that hey, someone might be a tag team. All right, then I'll make it so it's the same speed. So if I have to mash it together and it sounds kind of terrible, it won't work.
Yep.
But the Lashley EO one feels fun in that it works. Like sometimes when they do an MJF mashup with somebody, you go like, hey, that's a kicking tune. Like I kind of like that.
Right. But well, there you go. I made that.
But it's overwhelmingly.
Forgot about it.
All I do is go, I really like Lashley's theme, and now I'm not going to hear it anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll play it for you every now and then, just for fun.
Play this whole thing for fun. I like your mashups. Find more. Everyone, figure out more that feel the same, and Jake will do like cool techno mashups of wrestling theme songs.
Yeah, God knows I have the time.
Because he's got the time. He'll just sit on it for months.
All right. 747-666-5606. That's the number to the Pro Wrestling Palskis hotline. Scott Narver, do you want to see what we have on the hotline today?
Yes.
Hey, guys. It is Masklala, a.k.a. Spitz. I'm of the Legendary Fighting Federation. And I was just calling to say, hey, it's been a while, so I haven't been in contact more. I haven't had a lot of wrestling thoughts lately, or opinions, just kind of sitting back, taking it all in. But I don't know. Just chatting with y'all, so thinking, hey, Scott, I know you play that WWE Champions Match 3 game, or at least I know you did. I was curious, like, what's one wrestler in there that you're just kind of like, wow, can't believe I'm playing as this character. Not like because they're powerful or cool, it's 'cause you're just like, I really like this guy, or I really like this version of this guy, or like, wow, what a weird random celebrity cameo. Yeah, I don't know. Just saying, hey, hope y'all are doing all right.
Mass Llama, a.k.a. Spitz. I feel like Mass Llama likes to leave a message and then like lose confidence halfway through and then go like, yeah, it's okay. I'm just hanging out. We're all just having fun.
That's me on Tinder.
I believe that. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Whatever.
What kind of game?
I mean, some people eat meals if you want to. I don't. We're all just having a good time.
Do you like movies? I do sometimes, but if you don't, it's okay. I don't like movies. They're fine, I guess.
They're cool. I mean, I've seen Deadpool Wolverine 3 times. How about you? Well, then how did it make so much goddamn money, liar?
Anyways, Mass Llama, always great hearing from you. Don't know what you're talking about. This one's for you, Scotty.
Okay. Yes, I love probably too much so. But if I was in a relationship, it'd be distracting. I'm sure I'd hear about it, but I'm not. So life is good. WWE Champions, the mobile game. It's very fun. This is the one that I've taken to. Like, I used to play Supercard. Supercard and it stopped doing things for me, and it. Whatever the like. Okay, Jake, you play the Marvel. Which game is it? It's the Marvel Champions game.
Contest of Champions, but I actually haven't played it in months. Like, I kind of gave up on that because it just became the same thing over and over again, and there was not a lot of even like new characters and stuff. It kind of just became
skins of the same characters, or
no. Even when they would introduce new characters, it just didn't feel like it felt like there wasn't a lot of incentive to keep playing unless you were hunting for a very specific thing or trying to beat a very difficult game mode. I think the problem is the game got too easy unless it was too hard. Does that make sense? Or it was like, the game became all about like,
did you have to drop money in order to really progress or to get the cool thing?
It definitely felt like there was a lot of that, like in-game purchase stuff that I was just not doing and that they were pushing pretty hard. And it just kind of became like, I don't know that I'm enjoying I don't think that this is a good use of my time because God knows there was a lot of it.
Oh, and I know that's certainly the case for me, but that's fine because what else am I going to do?
Right.
Build a bridge? Help out the homeless? Come on.
One of those is actually within your abilities.
I don't know how to build a bridge, Jake.
Okay.
I know.
So
I
what
only
kind
know
of game
how
is
to
it?
burn them.
Yeah, God knows that's true. Is that like a fighting game, like an active fighting game, or is it just like a card collecting kind of thing? Like, what's the actual style of the game?
It is a puzzle game.
RPG? Oh, it's a puzzle game. Okay.
But the nice part about it, the blend, so I certainly do like a puzzle game, like a Columns or a Tetris or something like that. And this isn't that complicated. But what it does is...
A Bejeweled, if you will?
Yeah, I like a Bejeweled. Certainly do. With your roster of characters, and when you go into a fight, it's a split screen. The top half are the two wrestlers, or if it's a tag team match, yada yada. It's two wrestlers fighting. So as you finish a move in the puzzle section down below, that then causes the fight to happen. Like when it's your turn, you're then doing offense. And then as you collect the jewels of the moves you have, because you get 3 moves, and as you play more with the character and level them up, you have more moves to choose from, but each character has a limit of 3 colored gem moves, right? So for instance, let me pull someone for example here, like a rock final boss. Okay. He's got moves, but the colors that he has available are yellow, black, and purple. So amongst, I think it's 6 color gems in the playfield, as well as loot gems. Right. The only ones that are going to count towards that move base, or as if whatever you have acquired. So if you have a yellow move acquired, then you got to do some yellow gem moves. Otherwise, that yellow is only going to build a little bit with each round. But if the computer's doing some, then they're going to build up theirs.
So you want to be like breaking bricks of a variety of colors based on what your tasks are.
Yeah, so there's strategy to it as well.
Okay.
And there's things that bump
it's a little
up
Candy
like,
Crushy. Yeah.
Perhaps never played Candy Crush. I avoided it because it didn't have wrestlers in it.
Not even Crush, which, I mean, it's fucking right there.
Right? Oh, they could have, and Crush, surprisingly, not in this game, but to Mass Llama's question about who's pretty crazy that you're playing as, or who they added in that you really like to play, they've added in some really bizarre ones. And
is it a big roster of characters that you play?
Yeah, I currently have 514 superstars.
Holy shits in the night. That is quite a big number.
And there are certainly a lot of someone's over and over again. There's a lot of John Cena's.
Different skins.
There's a lot of Stone Cold Steve Austins. And they will...
And I'm just trying to get a feel for it. Are some characters actually better than others, or is they all play exactly the same? They just have different moves. Is it like, oh, here's a 2-star or a 3-star or 4-star like there is in the Marvel game where it's like different variations of the same character?
So the system that they have is every character you have can be leveled up to now a 6-star gold, being the highest. So every star level has 3 tiers of bronze, silver, and gold. So 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars. But as they scaled up to the Dave Meltzer scale of wrestling matches, but they're still not there yet at its peak.
Sure.
That they start off with like most guys that you get are like 3 stars to start. They don't do like a 1 star anymore. But then there's also the tiers. So this is when you get into a different rating of an actual character. There are C tier, B, A, S, and S plus. So if you have some Becky Lynch's, right, and then you go like, well, the best Becky Lynch I have is an A tier, and I have a C tier and a B tier, you're going to want to boost the A tier because that's just the highest skilled one that there is in general. Until they go like a couple months later and they go, hey, guess what? We just came out with an S one, and you got to drop some money if you want to get it. Like, oh, son of a bitch.
Do you spend any money on the game?
I have spent some money on the game, yes.
Oh, Scott Narver, they got you.
Sure
they
did.
got you.
They sure did.
I've spent in all the years that I played Marvel Contest of Champions, which was a while. Like I played that game for
years,
quite a few years. I spent $4. $4 total.
And yet you live in an
my
RV.
money's worth.
That game drained you. You have a lawsuit on your hands.
First off,
I was in Los Angeles. That's
not a fair assessment of our lives. Okay, we're visiting family.
You got a lawsuit.
Like,
I was living in Los Angeles. I was a filmmaker. I spent $4 in this game. I ended up in an RV in Texas.
I don't like the image that you are painting of my situation in life.
I can't afford sleeves anymore. I look like Pat McAfee.
I hate this thread, and I'm gonna ask once again what the name of this app is so I can download it.
WWE Champions.
Contest of Champions?
No.
Couldn't even come up with their own name.
So
WWE Champions.
So there's tons of characters behind a paywall. What they've been good about in more recent times, because I feel like they were burning people out, or going like, hey, you can't get anything if you don't pay. Like, this sucks. How am I supposed to move forward?
Why is the cover Dave Bautista and Princess Di?
That's Mae Young. Because if you play your game right, you even make them fuck. No. Those
do they make a hand?
Those are the featured new monthly characters. There are other monthly characters as well, but those are harder to get. That's paywall, or you got to be super lucky with something. But Batista's earnable by just playing, putting in time. And Mae Young is potentially as well. Like, she's a little harder to get. But now that's what they changed to. That no matter what, every month you can get a character by just playing. And then there's another one that if you playing really well, you can get opportunities. And it's just a little tiered better overall. And then with there's a website, I think it's just like www.champions.com. When you go in through your account there's daily things to grab, and then weekly they'll give you like some free superstars of old that maybe there were. Like this week they're doing Terry Funk, Chainsaw Charlie. That was maybe a year ago, like you had to pay big money, or it was hard to get. Now they'll give you like a base level version of them because there's newer shit. So that part's nice too, where they'll retroactively go like, hey, to catch up and play the weekly events, here are these. But this past month, one that they did for free that was pretty crazy to play, and I loved it. I don't like a special move at all. It sucks, but Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, that's fun.
It was super fun. And he's so like a lot of the moves he does are like he's sending out like mystical powers at you,
like vibes.
Yeah, and he's like shocking you with lightning and stuff. But then the crazy train is his finisher, and you're like, oh, what's this going to be?
Right.
And
is it an actual train?
He signals up like he's going to do something.
Braun Strowman?
He runs at you and then shoves your shoulder and you fall down. And it's the fucking weakest thing in the world.
What? Really?
Yes. It's so lame.
Do you play against other people, or is it all just against the computer?
You do play as other people's accounts. It's not real time. so you can play with other players in real time.
I get it. Yeah, that's the same way.
Yeah,
I get it. It's the same Marvel context. When you challenge somebody, it's like, well, they did put a actual like in real time, but you're still playing a computer, but you're just playing their champions kind of thing, where it's like you're always a defender. Yeah.
But if you're in a team with somebody, you're playing with your actual teammate in real time. Like you both have a half an hour to finish this task. Right. And then you find out the weird etiquette and stuff where if you didn't run through your team in 5 minutes, then the other person's pissed and going like, what the hell? Finish up. I could have played like 5 games already. Shit like that. Weird shit.
All right. Well, I just downloaded it, and we'll play as a team, and you could teach me how to do all the best moves.
I'm on a high-ranking team. I don't think they'll take you in.
No, they'll take me. They'll trust me. I'm a Palski.
I've got a rank of like a 6. So Ozzy is a weird, cool one to play as. They had Masters of the Universe characters there for a little bit. So like
that's fun.
A Ram Man version of Goldberg cracked me up.
Oh, so they were like, gotcha. But didn't they make toys of those? Like they actually sold? So they just made them in the game. Yeah.
It didn't get too far. I don't know what stops them. Sometimes they have these integrations and they stop. It seems like when it's licensed with something, they did Ghostbusters and that was real tough to get any of them. So that was frustrating.
Right.
They do a zombies version. So zombies are going to come back in October and I like those a lot. There's a Mankind zombie that's really fun to play as.
And once you get it, you just have it forever, but they're only available like limited times.
Yes. And some go away or they sit all at the bottom of like not in loot. So you can't get them. And I think there's only ever 2 that have ever gone away ever. And this was also the game that's when I was like, Dean Ambrose is gone from WWE because they changed like, it was a weekly event to do of like Dean's daily grab.
Oh,
that it turned like to Undertaker.
Like a mini game?
Yeah, that it was like, if Dean's off this, he's out. They got rid of him.
Right.
But Enzo was one that was flat out replaced. They got rid of him and replaced him. And then
so if you had him,
Bray
he's
Wyatt
just a different
once.
person now.
Bray Wyatt was gone in between, but there were still other Bray Wyatt characters, but one of them got turned into Xavier Woods, which was super fucking weird, and they never changed it back. And I think those are the only 2 I know of that went away. But Ozzy Osbourne, Zombie Mankind, those are super fun.
All for what is essentially just a zombie game. I mean,
an NFT,
a columns game
with NFTs. Like that's what I had to tell myself. Like these are NFTs.
What are you doing?
As much as you scoff at NFTs or whatever, like if you're throwing money into it, you're throwing money towards an NFT skin.
Sure.
That 100%. Will eventually go away one day and you'll be very mad.
Right. The whole game is just good. Like, we're shutting this down.
Yep. I had a Star Wars one like that where I bought a couple of packs and I had some characters and I stopped playing it for a while. And then one day I log on and it's like, yeah, we stopped. What?
This doesn't exist anymore. You're like, what about my money?
Well, can I just like have the guys or something? Can you email them to me? No.
Can you put them in a different game?
It's gone. Fuck you. There's a 2-headed Uso brother zombie skin that's super fun.
Ew.
Well,
it sounds thrilling. I've downloaded it. I will be addicted by next episode, and I will quit it by the one after that. But thanks for the call. Once again, if you want to call the hotline, 747-666-5606, 747-666-5606, or you can always send a voice memo to hotline@pwpalskis.com. That's hotline@pwpalskis.com. That'll do it for this week's program. Once again, we must acknowledge current PWP champ Andrea Beeler, a.k.a. Pollen Hate, defends that title come September. If you would like to challenge her, well, you got to head on over to patreon.com/pwpalskis. There you'll not only find access to the championship tier, but you can also get access to all of the material over on the Patreon. Years and years and years and years and years of patron-only episodes. Oh, what are you showing me? Who's that? Oh, Gunther. Is that a Cowboy Gunther?
Cowboy Zombie Gunther.
There we go. I love that.
Ring General Decay.
You can find all sorts of material over on the Patreon, including our Watch Along Wednesday series. There's now video for that. You can find other old videos, all sorts of stuff. The Peep promo challenge. We did a whole thing on JR's barbecue sauce. There's so much shit that there's so much crap that we've forgotten about that just exists on the Patreon. You get access to all of it over at patreon.com/pwpalskis. Do us a favor, check out the shop at pwpalskis.com. Snag yourself some merch. Ew, gross.
It's essentially Santa with muscles. It's
Wasn't
Hulk
that
Hogan.
Santa Slay?
Santa Hogan.
Didn't we watch that movie for Christmas a couple years ago?
No, there's a movie called Santa with Muscles, right? Starring Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, we talked all about that.
That's a future.
All right, what else? Oh, we have to thank our current PW Palski, Scott Narber.
Yes, we do. And this is the only show that hands out retribution names as well as maximum male model names. Why? Because I'm not buying you any WWE champions anything. So this is the least we can do. AJ0314, aka Binary, aka Matrice69, Alex Pierce, aka Figs, aka Zatoys, Andrew Beeler, aka Pollen Hate, aka Achu Detest, Curtis Mason, aka Hurtis, aka Auche, Gilbert Short, aka Goliathon, aka Batal Underoos, Mass Llama, aka Spitz, aka Jakar Laver, Michael Beltran, aka Limestone, aka La Naturelle, Mike Lucas, aka Hackensack, aka Luger Testicle, Miguel Diaz, aka Bipod, aka Too Much Husk, Suicide, aka AKA Tim Bemis, aka Wartrek, aka Tussle Quest, Tim Redbeard, aka Bloodfuzz, aka Blue Diffuse, Tom Hater, aka Cupid, aka Cherub, and Tony Griggs, aka Big Griggs, aka Grand Grisois.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. We quite literally could not, would not, should not do this without you. You are the best part of the pod. I think that'll do it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. It's always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. If you're enjoying this show, check out DragonWagonShop.com and get yourself some sweet merch while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. That's DragonWagonShop.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.